Right. So let me just remind you again that the Heritage Caravan is fully sold out. But with those of us who are going to be on the trip, we're preparing. Yes. So it's from the 3rd to the 10th of March 2024. It's 8 days through 14 regions of the country, and it's going to be just fun all throughout. Exploration, discovering Ghana, and having a whole lot of fun, bonding, networking with new people and all of that. I want to say a big thank you to NLA, to Hollard, to Goil Ghana, to Ghana Tourism Authority, to GB Foods, to Omni Basic, to Bell Beverages and Bell Pack as well for sponsoring the Heritage Caravan. All right, and then don't forget that Startup Africa is coming to you. Startup Africa will be on your screens today at 1:30 p.m. This is season 3 of Startup Africa, and you don't want to miss out on the stories, the many stories and journeys and experiences that various startups have been through and are going through, and we bring all of that to you. And of course, it's a VOA Citi TV production, co-production. All right, why don't we get into the papers that we have for today?
I have the Daily Graphic today. It's February 22, 2024. Truth and accuracy every day. Government committed to resolve Ahmed Swale's murder, Attorney General assures. That story is on page 16. And then Daily Graphic drags Transport Ministry to RTA Commission. Wow. More people with higher education unemployed. Ghana Statistical Services is reporting this. Ahead of 2024 elections, avoid hate speech, Peace Council tells political parties. And on the back page, we have contractor lock school over unpaid services areas. Burial rights of Sunyani Hene announced.
All right. So we have the Ghanaian Times here, and it says here, set priorities right to fix economy. Two tasks the finance minister designate. Set priorities right to fix economy. We also have Maslock fails to recover over 291.5 million Ghana Citi loan that was disbursed over the past 12 years. Now, Maslock has been giving loans. Question is, what systems were put in place to make sure that all loans given out are accounted for and recovered at the end of the day? This is how much they've lost so far. They've failed to recover 291.5 million. All right. We'll ensure fitting 67th Independence Day anniversary celebration. This is coming from the Eastern Regional Minister, Mr. Seth Kwabe Champon. Apenya loses bid to substitute imprisonment with non-custodial sentence. This is regarding the LGBTQ plus bill. All right, so that's it for the Ghanaian Times.
The Chronicle, the true independent, incorruptible, certainly not Mahama. That is Ebu Kwansa, a read from Ebu Kwansa on page 14. And then Parliament is committing gender atrocities, KT Hammond. John Kumawo's private sector as government embarks on agenda to create wealth for Ghanaians. And the quote for today is taken from Proverbs 25:15. By forbearance, a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue breaks the bone.
All right. So the Daily Guide has these headlines here. It says that sexy Don Don killed JB Dankwa Edu. This is coming from an investigator. We also have here Parliament chases MIIF over $12 million Ejapa expense. Political parties appoint leadership. It's come from the Speaker. We have Konfanoche Teaching Hospital loses 200 nurses in a year. Kumasi International Airport ready April. Okay, so that's what we have for the front page of the Daily Guide.
The New Finder, NPA boss envisages robust intra-African oil and gas industry. We have the picture of Dr. Mustafa Abdul Ahmed here, and BOG signs Memorandum of Understanding with University of Ghana Business School, DBG, for research to address MSMEs funding challenges. $35 million Commander Sugar Factory beyond recovery. Gao says this, or Gau's saying this. Mr. Edward Karewe. 40 million, pounds, and then $14 million unpaid to Kath Afari Military Hospital project contractors. The story is on page 8 of the Daily Graphic.
All right, so we have the new publisher. New publisher says, Chief Mensa Bonsu, majority leader resigns. Appeal marking is heir apparent. Now, after all the various stories of denial and everything else that we had on the papers in the last couple of days, it looks like what we imagined or was rumored seems to be true. That's the only headline on the front page of the new publisher.
Daybreak, Freedom in Truth. Accra Commando strikes. Orders Dampari to hold 53rd Cadet Corps and covers grave issues in selection process. GRA SML deal generates over 12 billion Ghana Citi. Chairman Sabunsu steps down as majority leader voluntarily. ARDA, OPEC partner for robust oil gas industry. That's all for mine.
So the Anchor newspaper has these headlines here. It says, another journalist assaulted by police. Primpag petitions IGP for probe. Okay? It's a very important story that we have here because, you know, once again, another journalist has been in the crosshairs of persons that do not want their issues uncovered or their light thrown on various things that are going on. And we need to start to make people pay and pay a high price for behaving in this crass manner. All right, so that one there, I hope the IGP takes it as seriously as we do. I know he is all for fairness and for properness of things being done. Asanko Mines unleashes soldiers again as bloody clash looms in Manso Tontochrome over jobs. And a very, very, very sad story here, very unfortunate. Ghanaian father of 4 killed in Canada while standing at a bus stop. It's just, you know, when you read the story, Elaine, it's just...
it was so sad.
It's just painful, you know. Wrong place, wrong time, maybe even wrong identity, you know, random shooting. It's like a drive-by type of thing.
A drive-by shooting.
You know, this guy has been in Canada for what, a few months?
Few months.
He's arrived there to hustle, to make money for his family. And incidentally, he was at the bus stop because he was going to send money back
to his
home.
family. Yeah.
You know, and he gets gunned down. It's just a painful story, man. Pupils turn cement blocks as tables to study on. And this is another one that is unbelievable, you know, but it's happening. And GES has questions to answer. The Ministry of Education has questions to answer. And the district assemblies have questions to answer. It cannot go, we cannot do business as usual when it comes to this. Look at this, a picture of them there, cement blocks.
Oh, it's
they piled
been happening.
them up.
It's
Those are their
been happening.
tables. And these are the children who are competing with children in first world countries. They are competing with children in London.
Right here in Accra.
They are competing with various other
Private
schools,
schools,
international schools in Ghana. Yes.
And they are using the same syllabus.
Yeah.
It's the same syllabus. So if I'm privileged enough to be in an international school and they are not that privileged, they will write their exam and totally fail, and you would say that Nkwadana bon.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the resources, the logistics needed to help push them, for them to feel free, have the peace of mind to study, they do not have it. So how will they match up to an international student who would want to be an engineer, and he or she will also, the unfortunate one, will also want to be an engineer, but lack of resources, which is no fault of theirs, they are lacking. GES. The Inquisitor, that's my final story, redefining objectivity. JM hosts 2024 NDC policy dialogue today. Then GRA SML deal gave Ghana over 12 billion Ghana Citi from downstream petroleum activities. In search of partnership, NAPO leads officials to Trinidad and Tobago. MCE Eastern Region MPP Secretary sniffed in delaying Equiapim South primaries. That is all for the hard papers.
Yeah, let's do a few online stories, and we'll go to citinewsroom.com. We have some stories there. A story just came up a few minutes ago. Greek Cup. Baba Rahman regains consciousness after collapsing during a game. This is very, the health of our footballers. We really need to pay attention to this. Just a few days ago, Raphael Dramina was buried, right? But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure what the issue is here, but we really need to be, careful in terms of the health of our players. And yes, maybe it's an unfortunate thing that has happened here, but we should also look at it as a trend that we don't want to continue. We don't want to continue. Anyway, we have some other trending stories. Institutional suppliers threaten to picket on March 4th over unpaid arrears. There won't be clash of egos in Baumia's campaign team. This is coming from Akumia. And COPEC IES wants Central Oil Refinery shut down and investigated by the OSP. Now, swiftly investigate death of Kalpohin SHS student, Edu Watch to police. Now, this one here is one that I can say this is happening one too many times, where there's obstruction of students that say that they are not well. In terms of their access to medical health care, and they lose their life. So we have the case of the Abri student. Well, we have another one here, Kalpohin SHS student in Tamale.
The sad thing is because most play truant.
Yeah.
Because most play truant, they tend to
I don't know if we can say
that
most. I say a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Some scale walls and all that. And they leave the school without permission. But you have seen that this person is truly sick.
No, I don't even think that's what the issue should be. I think that once a student says, I am not well, it's not in your place to say,
do a proof,
I won't give you
permission.
Or exit. Do you understand? Because it's on your head and it's on your hands. And the blood of that child is on you if they lose their life. Right? So yours is to say, if you're not well, we call your parents. First point, we call your parents. Unless you can visibly see that there's something happening to the child, then immediately first aid and all those things go into gear. But if the child says, I am not well, you call the parents. Let the parents take a decision and say, keep the child in school. Or
take the child to the hospital.
I think there has to be something that we do about this.
Well, there was a point where I was called that my child is not feeling well. And they said, oh, Obwa, it's not true. And I said, okay, I am coming to the school.
Yeah.
As to whether my child is lying or not, I am coming to the school. I sought permission from the quarters I was, and then I moved as quickly as I could because they made a call. They made sure they called me. I moved to the school, and when I got there, from the distance, the 3-hour drive, I got there. My child was going down. Like he was getting very weak. Deteriorating.
Wow.
But the sick bay had nothing, and they decided to do nothing about it. But for one of the teachers, who was also a mother, and left everything and said, I'm not even teaching the class. I am asking permission from the assistant headmaster, and I am moving. If you like, sack me.
Wow.
That was what she did, and took my child to the hospital. Winneba Hospital, before I got there.
Goodness.
So when I got to the school, they were like, okay, your child has been taken to. I said, who? Where is the sick? Why is he not in the sick bay? Because that's the first
There's nothing
point.
in the sick bay.
I entered the sick bay, and there's absolutely nothing in the sick bay but a bed and a tattered mat. That was all that was there. And even first aid, you won't get para.
Goodness.
You won't get para. So if a child goes this fast, deteriorates this fast, and there's no first aid whatsoever to help the child, aid the child to get better before they transfer the child to the hospital, we may be losing most of our children if we are not careful, and if the Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, does not take this up to help our children. And then people look on and people's children die. This is sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Anyway, it's time for Sports Review. Don't go anywhere. All right, now on Sports Review this morning, we have Premier League on Citi news. Now, Liverpool opened up a 4-point gap on Manchester City following a 4-1 victory over Luton Town last night at Anfield. Now, the Reds played out a strong second half to find 4 goals in response to Luton's 12th-minute opener from Chidozie Ogbene. Now, Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, and Harvey Elliott scored in the 56th, 58th, 71st, and 90th minutes, respectively, to give Liverpool 3 points and top spot in the league, albeit having played a game more than Manchester City. Now, for Liverpool, the win gives them a boost ahead of the Carabao Cup final this Sunday against Chelsea at Wembley. Now we have UEFA Champions League news. And in the round of 16 now, FC Porto edged Arsenal by a lone goal in last night's UEFA Champions League round of 16 first leg tie. Now the Gunners were not at their sharpest on the night and failed to cause any major problems for the Portuguese side. They were punished by Brazilian Galeno, who scored in the second half injury time to give Porto a slim lead ahead of the second leg in London on March 12th. Now, the match was Arsenal's first Champions League round of 16 tie since 2017. Now, in another round of 16 tie played last night, Napoli and Barcelona drew 1-1 at the Stadio Diego Maradona in Naples. Now, it was a shootout of the two of the game's elite strikers as Victor Osimhen's 75th minute goal cancelled out Robert Lewandowski's 60th minute goal effort. Now, the two teams will meet again in the second leg on March 12th at the Camp Nou. All right, so that's where we end Sports Review for the morning.